Faction before blood.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 121. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community, mainly around the bomb drop news on item factions, and that is what we're going to be kind of mainly focused on for this rather short dev chat. We're going to start off with Merchants Guild around flipping items.
Was there a particular reason for Merchants Guild not to be able to resell? Was that to prevent market flipping, etc.? Yeah, that's a big part of it for sure. We went back and forth on that a lot. For a very long time, we considered items having like charges, like trade charges. Sort of like, okay, this item can be traded like 3 times, and this item can be traded 2 times, and that's like part of the thing of the item when it drops or something. In no small part just due to like simplicity and accessibility of the system. Just saying like, hey, well, things with a faction rank can't be traded. You know, like that's so straightforward and easy to understand, and easy to parse. And also just the, yeah, like you say, the inability to then flip things on the market, which there's already limitations in. You may notice that there are quite a few limitations on trade. It is so much easier to remove a limitation on a trade system than it is to add one. Oh my god. And you know, we're gonna be looking at feedback a ton, like we always do. And I think there's going to be a lot of very concentrated feedback on both item factions.
Some people like this, some people hate it. I am in the camp of liking it for a few reasons. One, it is going to stop people from market manipulation. I'm going to purchase every single item that has hybrid health, and then I'm going to hike up the price of that affix because I know it is so sought after. It is going to stop people from having bots, and it's going to stop third-party websites, in my opinion. We still might see a little bit of that, but the fact that you need to level up your faction rank, the fact that you need to have favor, and you cannot buy and resell, a lot of the stuff you see in some of these other player-driven economies, all of that should be wiped out from what EHG has implemented with Merchants Guild. Moving on to balance. Will EHG mid-cycle rebalance builds, or will they wait till the next cycle?
On what it is and how extreme it is and how much it affects things. If we see a 95% split on faction balance of adoption, yeah, we'll take some action mid-cycle for sure.
Mike during the stream was struggling with a severe cough.
Usually the, hey, don't nerf me, bro, mid-cycle type idea, it's usually around like specific builds, individual specific builds. And I think if you're looking at the situation of like half the player base or 90% of the player base getting a nerf or something like that, it's less of a big deal. I know it's still not great, but I think it's less of a big deal because you're not getting nerfed relative to someone else. I think that's a big part of it. It's like, why did I invest so much time in this when I could have just gone the other one? And if there's only 2 options, and it's still the one you want, and it's still really good, but maybe just not as unbelievably broken, dominant, overpowered, I think it'll be a lot easier of a pill to swallow.
EHG in the past will patch broken normally. So there's a bug and you're doing 10 billion damage, like something like that. They will normally fix the bug. If it's just over-tuned a little bit, they might tune down a build a little bit. So if this is unequivocally the best build in the game and all other builds are here, sometimes they'll bring a build down where it's still the best, So it's not like it's unplayable. They rarely ever, I can't think of a time where they've like killed a build unless there was an actual bug exploit. So normally when it comes to balance, you shouldn't have to worry about it. Mob density and righteous fire.
Plans to ramp up the game's mob density, maybe lowering some of the game's cooldowns to let games be a little more fast-paced and frantic. I wasn't even looking at my character. Also, can we please get a damaging aura skill that permanently on? Definitely not referring to righteous fire, definitely. So there are things... there are righteous fire-like abilities. It's not quite the same. Orb decay, fire aura, stuff like that. Like there's you can get a lot of that gameplay style. Maelstrom, there's versions of those that don't require too much management. But we really do like to build in I guess rewards for making good decisions. And what I mean by rewards for making good decisions, I don't mean like rewards for picking the build we want you to pick. I mean rewards for being in combat and deciding, oh, I'm gonna do A or B and making a good decision that way in combat. And generally builds that don't have that are just like 0 or 1 button builds have less of that for sure. And that's not to say they're bad or wrong or we want to remove them or anything like that, but just we do often look to add mechanics that reward active gameplay, and because we just add more of those in general, you end up with like accidental synergies and incidental buffs and things like that. So you end up with generally more powerful builds, just like naturally it happens. But yes, there are things like that. And that was the other one, mob density. We've been ramping up mob density for a few patches now, and it's been going great.
They want more mob density. It just has to not hurt performance. So that's the big thing, is they don't want to make the game lag or rubber band like that. If you're looking for a 1-button build, lazy necro. Ooh, I like this question. I'm excited about it.
Of going Twitch drops. I mean, we got a huge number of people asking us to, and we thought it was a way to...
If you didn't hear, Twitch drops.
To support our streamer community. That's kind of what it boils down to, is that we've got tons of really awesome streamers that are a huge part of why we've made it this far.
Thank you, sir.
These people that promote our game for us because they like it, and they share it with their communities. And these are people that we want to, in turn, we want to turn around and drive traffic back to their channels and their communities, so that they say, hey, Ichi's got our back too. And that's a huge part of it. And also we just get a lot of people asking us for them, like just people who say, hey, I want free cosmetics, and we're like, okay, yeah. I know not everyone likes it, and I know not everyone has access to it, and we tried to make it as accessible as possible by adding in that extra, like the second session for it. But like we know it's not gonna be perfect for everyone. I just think that this is gonna be the way to get the most people involved as possible.
I'm excited to be able to offer Twitch drops February 21st. New MTX on the way.
How huge is the listing for MTX stuff be in 1.0? Like how many new MTX items are we getting in 1.0? It's not that big. There's a chunk of new ones that are sweet, but it's not. I don't, honestly, I don't know all of the items, but it's not like there's 100 new items that came or something like that. Like, no, that's way too many. We're just slowly adding MTX to the store as we make it.
Which was followed up by this question.
Will we see weapon MTX at 1.0? There are some. I think there are already some out there. I don't know if there's any available for individual purchase or not. Question mark.
Wait for it.
Mike, no spoilers. What did I spoil? I'm sorry.
Mike, no spoilers. It appears maybe Weapon MTX is coming. All right, everyone. Unfortunately, we have come to the final question for Dev Chat 121 around new drop rates coming for 1.0. But before we get to that question, Mike, thank you for persevering through this stream. I know you didn't feel your best. The community truly appreciates it, and you made it over 2 hours. Very nice job. Now, a couple of announcements coming January 25th. I am so excited. I'm already preparing and making content and recording. Warlock Week kicks off. Again, that is January 25th, less than 2 weeks away. Some people are calling it 7 days of Warlock because it starts on a Thursday. But either way, I'm going to be covering the general class overview, deep dive of the passive, deep dive of all 5 skills. It is going to be absolutely awesome. It'll be right here on the Action RPG YouTube channel and over on Icy Veins. Also, for game launch February 21st, we're a little over a month away. We'll be hosting our first subathon on Twitch, Aaron Action RPG on Twitch, where I likely will be sleeping on stream. We're going to be giving away merch and games and spinning wheels and have guests. It's going to be a whole ordeal. February 21st. And of course, drops will be enabled. Okay, I'm done. Check out the Patreon. Join the Discord. Mike, take it away.
How will base drop rates be changed from live version today to accommodate those systems? Seems like they need to be more than halved. They're not being more than halved. I can't give you a specific number. I think we'll have specific numbers available in patch notes, but they're not fully 100% locked down yet. Generally, what I like to say is that you'll be, by the time you hit rank 3 in Circle of Fortune, you will have surpassed the current item acquisition rate. The current, like the rate that you find upgrades on your gear. Where have I been going? I'm just like running around in circles. I'm like not even remotely close to going the right direction. I just started walking when I started this. That's hilarious. Maybe I completed a quest and just didn't even notice.
I sure wouldn't mind having you around.
No matter. Going to the Oasis, boys and girls. So yeah, we are going to nerf drop rates a little bit from where they are on live right now. We're not cratering them. It's still going to feel roughly similar as you're leveling through the campaign. For like experienced players, like it'll be a little bit less. It'll be a little bit slower. You'll get to Circle of Fortune. You'll unlock that. You'll start ranking up. You'll get into early monoliths. You'll be about normal where you are now. You'll hit that rank 3 pretty quickly. You'll be a little bit ahead of where you are now, and it's all gravy from there. Oh yeah, claim that shield. So I have to say, if it takes too long to level up merchant skill, I think people will complain. I agree. I'm going fortune, so I don't care, but I think people who want to trade don't want to grind for hours to be able to do so freely. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with, like, we are trying to curate the points in your character's development process that you're getting certain item types as core components to your build in most situations. So we really want to avoid the situation where someone gets to they hit early monoliths, and maybe they've got enough stuff saved up to get their best in slot amulet, and they buy that amulet, and now this item slot is locked off for the rest of like the time they're gonna play for the next like 50 hours or 200 hours or whatever, you know, like that item slot just doesn't exist on their character. We'd like that not to happen ideally. We'd like to be more along the lines of, oh, you got to this point and maybe you bought a sweet amulet on the bazaar, but you know, like 3-4 ranks down the line, you'll be able to now buy this other amulet. It's even better, and it's just like a little bit more of a progressive process, and it's not just like, here you go, everything's free, have fun. It sounded bad the way I said that, but having those limitations, I think, is going to make the gearing process feel like a process that's like, I'm describing this so bad right now, feel like a like an activity, something that you're making progress in, something that you are like earning, I guess is a good way to put it.